All right, we on, bro. We on,
All
on.
righty. All right. Peaceful greetings to you all. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hasan Ghazi Obey here in Morocco at Northwestern Maxim. How are you? Happy Holy Venus degree to you all. Welcome to our impromptu improv as we do every holy day, every Friday, right? And this is us going in on Clock of Destiny Book 2. All righty. And this is part 3 of our installment for Clock of Destiny Book 2. You guys know I'm here with our magnificent and beloved brother in whom we're well pleased, Brother Sean Aleem L. And he's about to lead us in with our invocation. And guys, we're just going to jump right into it. We're going to knock these things out because we know in about an hour and 40 minutes, it is court strategy with Malika and Sunny and our loved ones at the Lawful Living community as we go in on some things there as far as jurisprudence gem. The reason why I call it the jurisprudence gem because it's where we can go and exercise the jurisprudence. For myself, being Moorish American, I'm pretty sure for Brother Sean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, with how we, come into this information and been diligent in our own studies without having someone, trying to put us under their thumb in doing so. We're continuing to refine those concepts, just like if you were to go to a gym and you're someone who's already in shape and you're buff and all that, but still, it's like, man, we still gonna go hit the gym. You know what I mean? Like, still gonna go hit the gym, man. I don't care how much, this body look cut up like a bag of dope. We're gonna just really just we still gonna, knock these things out, you know what I'm saying? Just as far as jurisprudence is concerned and making sure we're really comprehending things. So we're not just getting templates and just trying to put documents into venues without really comprehending where things start. You know what I mean? Where have things began? So I'm just going to go right into the screen share here. And we're going to go right to our invocation in. All righty. Brother Sean is going to actually lead us in on our invocation in. So this is where I say we're going to extend all 5 appendages on the left hand. It's the index and middle on the right. We're going to have our feet on a 45-degree angle, like we see Prophet Noble Ali's feet there on page 48 of Moor Holy Temple of Science Administrative Functions. And we're going to face east. Metaphysically, east denotes within. So this is our invocation in term, the Moorish American prayer. And you guys can repeat after Brother Sean, either aloud or in the hearts. Islam?
Islam.
Islam.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
The Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
His holy prophet.
Noble Drew Ali.
Noble Drew Ali.
I mean.
All righty, guys. Let's go right in to the first letter to be read in every meeting. Still in the Moorish Holy Temple of Science Administrative Functions. The following is a letter written by Prophet Noble Drew Ali on the 18th day of January, 1928, Anno Domini. He commanded that it be read before every meeting. Moorish Science Temple of America, Home Office 3603 Indiana Avenue, Noble Drew Ali, founder. Chicago, Illinois, January 18th, 1929, to be proclaimed in every meeting. Dear brother, Islam, I'm glad to know that I have 3 faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There's a host of jealousy, quote unquote, about me and the movement now by the same people of our side of the nation that claim it was only a joke and unreal. Now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as an American citizen. They are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they themselves may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that contribute to the movement and the uplifting funds. The ones that paid their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered. That is why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance and I need it bad. Never before have I needed finance as badly as I do at present, that I may shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my, quote, fame and nobility, end quote, period. The nations of the world will not recognize the movement without me, the prophet, being the head. It has been proven by my work in which I have performed in the last few months, because I was at the governor's inauguration to represent the Moorish Divine and National Movement, and I will be at the inauguration of President Hoover for the same cause, Noble Drew Ali. And now we're here on pages 12 and 13 of the Moorish literature, which is excerpts from the Moorish Guide newspaper. And we see on page 12, handsomely standing Dugard in his Moor shirties, fez, and abba, as he did in the picture shown, just where the picture was above the Moorish American prayer, just previously. Here on page 13, where we see to Prophet Noble Drew Ali's left, but our right, divine warning by the prophet, right? And this, I know, is two different documents. That's the divine warning, I get it. However, this is the second letter to be read in every meeting, all right? According to our studies thus far. And I yield the floor to our beloved brother in whom we're well pleased, Brother Sean Lee Mel, Islam.
Islam. Divine warning by the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Prophet warns all Muslim. Governors ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work and their homes on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. When your love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple of the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive the reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways. By order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
Indeed, Islam, guys. You know, we're getting right into Clock of Destiny Book 2, where we're continuing on our third installment here. And we're going to start at why the Asiatics are rising so rapidly. Happy Holy Venus degree, everyone, says Mother Sahar in the chat. Brother Dark Blash Bay says, Happy Holy Venus degree, everyone. Indeed, Mother Sahar and Brother Dark, peaceful greetings to you all. And JLV, and I'm sure Robert's there. And I'm pretty sure Mother Janelle Blashell is there with Brother Derek. Peaceful greetings and happy Holy Venus to you all. JLV says, peace and love, Brother Sean and Hasan, mothers, brothers, and sisters. Indeed. Indeed. Happy Holy Venus degree to you all. And as usual, Brother Sean will do the reading. We're only going to do maybe about 2.25 pages of reading here. It's going to be very quick. Just wanted to kind of just touch on some things. And you guys know, as Brother Sean is reading this, I will, as usual, do my, yeah, I'm serious, member type of ad-libbing. Right. So with that being said, guys, this is where I yield the floor to our beloved brother, well, please, Brother Sean Ali Mel, Islam.
Why the Asiatics are rising so rapidly. The teaching of the science of the 12 signs of the zodiac is rapidly spreading in the Asiatic world to fulfill with the majority of the common masses in the course of time. Freedom is everybody's job.
Again, that's like the third time in a certain kind of way he said that. I yield, bro.
The population of the U.S.A. appears to continue to rebel against the science of the 12 signs of the zodiac owing to their belief system. Let's see.
Yeah, owing to their belief. Let me see if I can hold on. Let me grab my Clock of Destiny Book 2 behind me to see if I can fill in the words that may have
I'm right there.
Gone away just
okay, yep.
Bit.
Let's see, against the 12 signs of the zodiac. Okay, owing to their belief in the doctrine of theology being their only salvation.
Got you.
You might look up the terms idol and paganism in a first-class dictionary for definition, and then draw your own conclusion by reason.
Got you. Yep. I see where that is. That's page 18 in your book too. Your physical book.
Indeed.
All righty. Islam, bro.
If we, the peoples of the Union of North America, are not careful, those so-called ignorant Asiatic masses of humanity will rise by way of the 12 signs of the zodiac as our superiors in practical, economic, and social knowledge or culture, but not to enslave us.
Wow. If we, the people of the Union of North America, are not careful, those so-called ignorant Asiatic masses of humanity will rise by way of the 12 signs of the zodiac as our superiors in practical, economic, and social knowledge of culture, but not to enslave us. Are not careful, those so-called ignorant Asiatic masses of humanity will rise by way of the 12 signs of the zodiac. Yo. As our superiors in practical, economic, and social knowledge or culture, but not to enslave us. Go ahead. I yield, bro. We will have. Go ahead.
We will have to rise by way of the zodiac to make progress on equal basis along with them, or else remain our own slaves, relying upon impractical ideas or doctrine. Knowledge is power. Freedom is everybody's job.
Man, he's reiterating that for a fourth time in this book. We will have to rise by way of the zodiac to make progress on equal basis. So in other words, you know, we all got to work together, because it seems like even if someone rises with the knowledge pertaining to the 12 signs of the zodiac, but people they're not going to enslave people, but that means they're just going to move on without trying to force others that's like, oh, we're ignoring that. Okay, you can ignore us. Let's just continue to move forward then. We're just going to use zodiac this way for our benefit. I guess they just don't want to see it that way. That's why we've been saying, join TUPAC. There's some foundational things. The first thing I always suggest is people get a mirror astro literacy session. That's number one. Number two is a mental magician report. So how we normally promote it, it's you get the mirror sessions with me, you get the mental magician reports with Brother Sean. And then we have our own astrological community, TUPAC. I know. Is that spelled Tupac? Yes, it is an acronym for the Universally Professional Astrology Community, where we get to actually go over astrology in a way that we can have a discussion and a conversation about it. And it usually starts based off of someone bringing some kind of inquiry. They have a question. And I think I and Brother Sean have more than enough resources to, speak on any topic that people bring when it comes to astrology. And if it's not in our library or within our immediate knowledge base, we're pretty savvy with how do you Americans say Google? That's probably what we'll use. The searching Joan. Anyway, so with that being said, I yield the floor, bro. Islam.
What is the zodiac? The zodiac is an unchanged map of the universe, which comprise 360 degrees. The zodiac is equally divided into 4 angles or squares of 90 degrees, which represent east, west, north, and south, and fire, water, air, and earth, and spring, summer, fall, and winter. 3 times 4 equals 12. The zodiac is also equally divided into 12 zones of 30 degrees each, which represent the 12 months termed a year. And the 12 signs from which reveal human character, talent, action, and reaction, and the great law of cause and effect universally.
Look at that. Look at that. It sounds all 7 hermetic principally and stuff. Right? So this isn't something that people just, all of a sudden this new age idea. No, man, this stuff is ancient. And we gotta just recognize that there's just been times and records past that people have tried to implement things that took a lot of people's minds and attention off of the unchanged map of the universe, which is the zodiac. Hey, yo, bro, what is astrology? Let me stop. What is astrology?
Right. Astrology means astrologic or logic of the works of nature, as shown in the 12 signs of the zodiac, having to do with solution to problems and human characteristics.
Bruh, those 2 paragraphs that you just read, the one pertaining to what is the zodiac and the one is what is astrology, like, if anybody thinking anything else can be their answer is like, man, you just really missed it. You know what I'm saying? Because the stuff that goes on in my mind of how we can solve our social and economic issues with astrology, knowing the universal law is shown in the 12 signs of the zodiac, and then people talking about, oh, I'm going to say it the right way. I'm being threatened through postal service correspondence from one human being representing some legal entity in their official capacity because they're at work, and they're using their position at work to threaten me to come to some meeting that they've called a court date. And I'm the type that even in, some years back when I had to deal with stuff in courts, and I find out who the judge is, who the attorney is, I'm going to find your info and I'm going to cast a chart on you. And I'm going to see what's happening in the transits for that particular day and how it's supposed to work in your favor or anyone else's favor, and then how's it working in my favor. Then I'm just going to put those charts in so many different conceptual charting situations that sets me to use the zodiac in my favor. Even if you think it's going to go in your favor, okay, boom, I see where they're going to fall short. Now, I'm not saying be evil and do astro magic. I'm saying I'm not letting anyone take advantage of me. Period. So that's why I have seen over the years, slowly but surely, different attorneys and judges that you can't find their solar return information. Like my boy back in 2014, 2015, shit. Oh, this motherfucker was born when? I don't know what time it was, but I know I'm gonna cast maybe 4 different charts. One for sunrise, one for high noon, one for sunset, one for midnight. And let's just see what I can get out of all those 90 degrees. See what full circle perspective I can get on who they are with, at least in that day that they were born. See where the planets were. How did things? Okay, cool. That's how. Okay, let me see where they've progressed now. But I'm telling you, Robert Sean already know what different charting we can do, and just you can sit there. You know what I mean? Like I've sat there.
Play if you want, because I'm gonna see you on all kind of timelines.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I've been in those meeting rooms knowing the astrology of the being sitting in the bench and the alleged prosecuting attorney. And just to see how they want to immediately bang the gavel before even really touching it, because it's things that I already put in my correspondence, even referring to the astrology and what I'm putting on the record alone, just the date. Okay, on this date that is really this astrological dating, and I know they looking like, who the fuck is this? And they run to their worshipful masters at their Masonic lodges and be like, y'all know who this is? My ascendant degree is at 12 degrees. So 9 times out of 10, even if you think you know what I look like from seeing me all the time on YouTube, if you see me face to face, I still won't look like what you think when you see me face to face. And I think that's the gift of having a Piscean degree, ascendant. You know what I mean? Because I'm always kind of hidden in plain sight. And I gotta admit, I thrive being nobody, sort of, kind of. You know what I mean? So that just kind of works for me. I'm not saying it's like that for everyone, but that's what works for me. I kind of thrive being nobody. I could be right, you could be looking for me, and I can be right there in a crowd of people, and you still won't know that that's me.
They walked right past, Brother Hasan.
A lot. It happens a lot, man. Seriously. It's what it would take is for me to talk. I think people know my voice more than they know my face. I think that's what it is. Mother Sahar says solutions. Yes, indeed. Solution to problems, right? And human characteristics. Brother Derek Blash Bay said, well said, unchanged map of the universe. That's right. Shout out to CM Bay, right? And Mother Janelle Blash L says, peace and love. Indeed, beloved mother. Happy Holy Venus degree. All righty. I yield the floor to Brother Sean. Islam.
All right. Revelation. The term revelation means to reveal or to make known to that which has been suppressed or shielded by selfish people of organized dictatorial nature.
Look at that. Revelation means to reveal or to make known to that which has been suppressed. Sometimes to me, it also means to like veil it again, like to veil it all over again. To reveal something is to, I'm going to say it this way, but I'm going to still keep it covered. That's why I usually say unvelation, because we want to unveil things, because Prophet Noble Drew Ali removed the covers from all secret societies. All right, I yield, bro.
Well, in the book of John, Revelation, the zodiac is referred to as the 12 foundations, the 12 gates, the 7 seals, the 4 squares, and the measurement of man.
Look at that. So that's why, and I had the pleasure of speaking with one of my beloved siblings. And that's what I said to them last night. I said, the Bible's an astrology book. It's just that, it's a lot of people out there who are speaking from their pastoral or reverend position, and all they're going to see, they're not upfront. Like Prophet Noble Drew Ali in the first letter we read in every meeting, I need finance and I need it bad. Never before have I needed finance as badly as I do at present. I respect that more than somebody just giving me an emotional dissertation backed by an organ and a choir and maybe a drummer. Maybe somebody's on the keys. Maybe somebody's got the bass. Maybe somebody's on the keyboard. Oh snap! There go the music minister on the harpsichord too, or whatever, or or 2-tiered piano or whatever. He's on the Rhodes piano maybe, and and it's like then you went through this whole spellcast of having to hear different frequencies from the voice of the guy at the pulpit, the choir, all the musicians, and now you have been entranced to reach in your pocket for the collection plate to come around. And most people would be maybe like, man, yeah, I done had a good time. Did you really? Or are you under hypnosis? Where Prophet Noble Drew Ali is like, I need finance and I need it bad. Never before have I needed finance as badly as I do at present, that I may shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. Straight to the point. No church hymns that have the lyrics of Jesus and God replaced with Prophet Noble Drew Ali and Allah. None of that. No tambourines. Straight to the point. What I need, why I need it. I need finance and I need it bad. Never before have I needed finance as badly as I do at present. Why? that I may shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. I can't knock that. That's straight up. That's like, I remember one time when it was a you know, I'm this is on Park Heights. For those of you from near the Baltimore Corporation, it's on Park Heights. And a brother approached me. He's like, "Hey man, can you spare some change, man? Look, I ain't gonna even lie to you. I'm just trying to get 2 keystones." I couldn't do nothing but laugh. I'm like, "What you want? You want 2 24-ounces of Keystone?" I already knew at that time because I done made liquor store runs before at that time, you know what I mean, of my, of my experience. And I'm like, man, them joints at that time, I think 2 24-ounce Keystones was maybe 3 notes. You know what I mean? So they like $1.50 a piece, right? I couldn't do nothing but laugh. And I'm like, yo, because you were honest, I got you. And I just went in there and grabbed the key. Man, I got you. I go grab the Keystones for you or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's nothing. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yeah, because I think too, he was like, yeah, it don't matter. You can get it or you can just give me the bread. I said, yo, I got you. I ain't gonna front. I'm about to run in here, grab some blunts anyway, for real. I was already on my way into the bar to grab some blunts. Like that's what I'm telling him at that time. He honest with me, I'm being honest with him. That's how it was for real at that time. You see what I'm saying? I had to been, I don't know, how old was I? I might have been like 22 years old, maybe 23. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's about 16, 17 years ago. I'll never forget that because he was like, "Hey man, you spare some change? Look. I'm just gonna cut to the chase. I'm just trying to get 2 keystones." I said, "Yo, you got it, G." Because I'd rather you be honest with me, and that's how I'm looking at what Prophet Noble Drew Ali is saying in the first letter to be read in every meeting. I'm not saying he asking for some malt liquor as much as I'm saying he's just being straight to the point of what he wants and why he wants it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's really what being in harmony with truth is really all about. You know what I mean? Being yourself, that's really what it's all about. Because the worst thing that I could have said to that man and the worst thing that people have ever said to Prophet Noble Drew Ali is no. How bad is no? Not really that bad. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the worst thing that one can say to somebody who's being upfront. However, if your no is based in something where you just really can't spare it or you really can't conceive doing that, cool, that's fine. I'm pretty sure no one's going to make you feel guilty about not doing it. You know what I'm saying? Well, if somebody's being straight up, like, can I have X, Y, and Z so I can do this? You know what I mean? To me, that's admirable. And I'll let you know if I got it, if I don't, for real. You know what I'm saying? I just noticed that since doing ministry, this has been the least of me. When I was out there chasing the bag, I'm out there hacking, I'm out there doing what I do in the streets or whatever. Ministry is where I've made the least amount of finances, I think, honestly. You know what I'm saying? And however, ministry is the most work I've ever done, though, honestly. Doing what I and Brother Sean do here on top of the other like things that we actually do, I think we put out more energy than we receive. And we still be like, yo, make sure you be yourselves and donate. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I just wanted to really just speak on the fact that, you know what I mean, that whole revelation, just unveiling things. So we could just get straight to the point and just taking it to the whole, I need finance and I need it bad. Never before if I need to finance as badly as I do at present, that I may shove aside the discord that's facing the nation. There's no cover there. There's nothing to veil. So it's unveiled what the intentions are and the purpose. I yield the floor, beloved brother. Islam.
Islam. The term Maneva means the number 9. Thus, the zodiac of 360 degrees is squared by the number 9. Thus, this revelation means the very end of the doctrine of mystery, mythology, and organized theological dictatorship, and the rise of humanity with civilization, namely the science of astrology, The 12 signs of the zodiac.
Jesus, man. Look at that. That's and it's simple.
Simple.
So, when you comprehend the universal law showing the 12 signs of the zodiac and really allow yourself to rise, with what? The science pertaining to astrology, right? Universal law is shown in the 12 signs of the zodiac can be exercised by way pertaining to science of astrology. And there's no need to, have doctrine of mystery, mythology, and organized theological dictatorship. It's the end of that. However, there are people, who have been making all of their finances off of the people by means of doctrine of mystery, mythology, and organized theological dictatorship.
Think about your churches. Think about your club memberships. And even more, just think of the major ones that people don't even realize what's really going on.
So. Indeed. Yeah, man. All of the dogma belief systems that may be exercised in churches, all kinds, whatever denominations. Because synagogues, temples, mosques. Because if there's always this sense of something outside of yourself being the answer without the metaphysics being given, along with where I am in ministry, I'm not going to talk about the Bible with anyone unless we have the metaphysical Bible dictionary opened also, and some astrology books.
Right. It's like you said, bro, like the looking outside of yourself and thinking that you had to transition in order to receive those things. Like those two right there, it's like, it's tough.
Yeah, and I think that makes it hard for people too, because it's like, dang, how y'all got all this knowledge, but y'all ain't quote unquote rich and financially free in this way. And it's like, we know a lot. We even know what it is when it comes to the whole Federal Reserve System. It's like, we really know none of you guys really qualify to even have Federal Reserve notes or deal with that monetary system at all, what is called a monetary system, with that faith-based currency system. Because when you go and read the foundation of its operations, it's like, oh, okay, I don't even qualify for this. But then people are like, well, what would you do? Well, honestly, that would show you that it's a war going on and we're under occupation. So now that means that we, in order to have things that have been made or produced from our dominion, which is the entire planet, it's being held for ransom. And it's like, well, if you don't have this military script, this 12 United States Code 411 Admiralty military script that only really Federal Reserve agents are allowed to even handle, because they're making advances to the Federal Reserve Bank through instrumentalities of the United States or the US, whichever one it actually is. But by there being so many bankruptcy processing avenues and routes, that the people have been indoctrinated and the minds have been occupied to do these things, because no one's really focused on humanity rising with civilization with the science pertaining to astrology. People would much rather find ways of getting more Federal Reserve notes, because it's like, we hear what you're saying, but man, I got these light bills, I got electricity, gas, water due, man. You know what I mean? I got this rent, got this mortgage. I get what you're saying that you have. However, we are in the position where we're looking at the beginning of those things, and we've recognized when we look at the beginning of those things, we never qualified. However, the desperation of people having, lights, water, gas, shelter, food and clothing. What we're saying is, what we've learned is you're supposed to have access to that, period, without there being this obligation in your mind to think that you have to go punch a clock, work for someone, have to do it. And that's just what it is, even to the point where we have to still accept cash apps or whatever, things of that nature, because we recognize that there's an occupation on the land. So for us, it is just a tool to be able to unlock and to free up the hostage that is the materials made from our dominion. And I'm open for correction. Anyone agree or disagree, you can definitely share your comments. You know what I mean? Either now or later on when you watch it, either one. All right, brother, I yield. Here, the entire earth.
Here, the entire earth will become that great city.
I guess
that's right. Don't worry, I got you, bro. Man, I seen that earlier, so I'm going to just read it from here.
Hold on, let me get along with you, bro, because it's looking like something's missing. Ski. You're on page 20. Let me see where we at.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm almost there with you. Okay. Great. Where's the great city? Yep, great city. Yeah, here the entire earth will become the great city. Minerva or Minerva. Go ahead.
The number 9, with freedom, justice, peace, and economic and social progress.
So guys, I just want y'all to know, brother Sean's still reading what's left at the bottom of page 16 here. All the way to see how you see it says 16 here, and then it says 18. That means that page 17 is obviously missing from this particular copy, which is great, because we already tell you guys, make sure you go and get your copies, you know, from rvbaypublications.com, because that's where we got the copies from. Even though we provide this, we always tell people whatever PDFs we have, just go in order and make sure you can have a hard copy and make sure those pages aren't missing. But we have Clock of Destiny Book 2, I Am Brother Sean, the hard copies. All righty. So if you guys have it there too, you can read along with your hard copy. Go ahead, Brother Sean. You said here the entire earth will become that great city. Minerva, go ahead.
All right. Let us remember that the atomic bomb of August 6, 1945, dropped on the Asiatics, has made it possible for the entire human family to be set free of theological dictatorship.
Look at that.
The entire human family to be set free of theological dictatorship.
Look at that.
All right. Geometry has never told a lie. After one has been taught the applied culture of astrology, the science of the 12 signs of the zodiac, they will well understand what the mystic phrase, quote unquote, Tubal Cain means to them and their economic and social stride. Tubal Cain, quote unquote, is one of the great passwords in mystic masonry.
Just wanted to make sure y'all could see where Brother Sean was reading from after you saw it says here the entire earth will become that great city. So I just wanted to make sure you guys could at least see it right there where we're reading from within. This is on page 19 within the hard copy of the Clock of Destiny Book 2 that we've gotten from rvbaypublications.com. All righty. So, yep. And it's funny because I'm pretty sure we can go and look up Tubal Cain too, not only in the Masonic dictionary, but also the
metaphysics. I got it right here.
You want to share?
Cain. Yep, I'll share real quick.
Let's see. Were you able to find Tubal also? I know, because most people like Tubal Cain means, you know, two balls, you know, your testicles, and the cane is your penis. You know, that's what most beings will bring out, and it's not really wrong as much as people aren't explaining it in terms of life coming forth by method of mother and son, connecting in that fashion to bring on life. It's usually said in a kind of almost perverted, derogatory fashion, which kind of makes people uncomfortable to talk about sex, because when somebody that isn't mature about speaking about it, to be able to give you the science of it so you can respect it, like The Perfect Matrimony. That's another book that's in our library, The Perfect Matrimony, and speaks on, sacred sex and things of that nature. But however, the metaphysics pertaining to it, Brother Sean's about to go in on. So let me give you that co-host there, bro. You got it. And then he will get to the IMCM Bay, right?
All right. Screen share should be showing. You see it, bro?
Yes, I do. I
All
do.
right.
I do. I do.
I do. Who knows about Tubal Cain? Look at
Two ball.
Tubal. Okay, Tubal, right? Makes you think of Cabal. All right, diffusion of Cain, diffusion of worldly possessions, central diffusion, flowing of centralized might, mineral principle, physical power, Mercury, metaphysicals and the instruments made for them, son of Lamach
Wow.
by Zillah.
Wow. Go ahead, I yield.
He was the quote forger of every cutting instrument of brass and iron, end quote. Metaphysical, Cain, centralization, acquisition, that which draws to
Bro,
itself.
I appreciate you, but hit that command plus sign.
Oh, you need a more? Okay. I see. I don't know how big of
Hit
it.
that command plus sign, bro. Bring it up, bring it up, bring it
All
up.
right, you need another one. It is good.
You do maybe one more and then bring it up so we can put it in the middle of the screen. Oh,
Hold
you
on, let
might
me
have
see if
to
I can get.
do a command minus on that one, just one
I
time.
mean,
Command minus, just one good time. Okay, that's perfect. Perfecto. And just scroll, yeah, put it in the center. I think you're good. I think you're good because after that is that 12. All right. So
I'll
I
move
think
that
you're good.
sidebar.
Perfect.
All
I
right.
mean, if you want to zoom in again, you could just maybe one time. Now you should move the side. I
Oh
think
yeah,
that.
it's super big. I think that was straight.
Okay, cool. Now the
All right.
metaphysical. Yes, let's do it.
All right. Signifies the sense selfishness of an individual centralized in his own physical being.
Look at that. Cain, centralization, acquisition, that which draws to itself, signifies the sense. Because remember, this is always pertaining to one's consciousness tied to their endocrine system. Signifies the sense selfishness pertaining to an individual, right? Non statutory individual, centralized in his own physical being. Sounds like a bit of self centeredness. Okay, two ball king. I yield.
Mm-hmm. Tubal Cain, a descendant of Cain, meaning
So in other
diffusion
words,
of
so
Cain.
Tubal Cain, then, if it's a descendant of Cain, is a result of self-centeredness. Go ahead, I yield.
Mm-hmm. Right. Diffusion of worldly possessions, owing of centralized might, but speaks a broadening out of that which Cain signifies, or the same selfish thought removed to a broader, more universal base. For instance, a person's care and ambition for his children, for the community or city in which he lives, or even for his country, may be just as selfish and unreasonable and far removed from the true Christ love as is the selfishness in the individual that seeks to draw all good to himself.
Islam.
However, a broader base for one's centralization of love and ambition does lead to a larger life and to undertakings and successes on a much larger, broader scale than can ever be attained, so long as one's whole thought is of oneself alone.
Look at
Tubal
that.
Cain was supposed to be the inventor of the art of forging metaphysicals into cutting instruments.
Look at that. Looky. Astro Cookie. Sheesh. So how does one get the metaphysical fruit out of that? So where it says, however, a broader base of one's centralization of love and ambition does lead to a larger life and the undertakings and successes on a much larger and broader scale than can ever be attained, so long as one's whole thought is of oneself alone. Right. So in other words, to me, it looks like, you can kind of flip it from being self-centered in a selfish way to really working on oneself, to be able to better oneself so one can then be a better member amongst their peers, amongst their equals. Tubal Cain was supposed to be the inventor of the art of forging metaphysicals into cutting, right? Exacting instruments, right? So what's a way of taking the self-centeredness, but having it being loved and ambition-based for a larger purpose so that you can now maybe cut away the negative portions of Cain, right? The fusion of worldly possessions owing to centralized might. So maybe you can be able to cut away thinking about it in a materialistic way and then allow the metaphysics and the metaphysicals to be that which allows you to attain to a spiritual mindset outside of the material mindset. That's how I'm seeing it for myself. Mother Sahara says, we're supposed to have access to those things freely, indeed, when it comes to, all of that. You're exactly correct, Mother Sahara, especially when we've allowed a certain people to be here to do what it is that they want to do or whatever they want to have. We want to be the United States. We want to do, okay, all right. Brother Derek says, there shouldn't be a bridge to our inheritance. I know. That's why I said it's being kind of held hostage for ransom. And that ransom is $2.99 plus tax type energy. But anyway, let's get back to what we were reading as far as Clock of Destiny Book 2, where Brother Sean was continuing. Oh, hold on. Let me make sure, because I know where it says the evil act of Moors. I want to see. Oh, so yeah, I'm gonna have to stop your screen share.
I got a bit.
That's a whole nother page missing. Sheesh. Jesus Christ, bro. All right. Let me flip my camera. Let me flip my chamber here. All right, go ahead, bro.
All right. I, C.M. Bay, am a freeborn Moorish American and well recommended by my universal law, the science of the 12 signs of the zodiac, in which I inherited from my Moorish forefathers of this northern hemisphere, who ruled the world in the seven seas for 1196 years, to the Franciscan Revolution of 1789 and the Union of 1863 through 1898. The last 300 years of the 1196 years of Moorish world rulership, the half-breed generations of Moorish fathers suppressed the science of the 12 signs of the zodiac by brute force, from which resulted in mass ignorance, hatred, slavery, social caste, brutality, war, bloodshed, and destruction.
So that's why I said, that's why even when young times y'all might have heard Brother Taj, we weren't goody goods either. See, that's why I said it's always been a family feud. So it's not like, oh, well, it was the pale skin's fault. And it was, we're all one on this planet, and it's always been a family feud. Period. Even if the way we begotten or the way that one had to beget the pale-skinned sons and daughters was through a rigorous scientific process that was outside of nature in order to have a slave class, because the slave class initially and by their foundation is our pale-skinned sons and daughters. Those were the only slaves and are the only slaves by intent of that experiment, even though there are olive shade beings who became enslaved along with them. So you can see that being Moorish American isn't just, or being a Moor just isn't. That's why I kept bringing the science up. When people are like, oh, we're not Moor. Look, it has to deal with the science pertaining to which we get here via mother's womb. That's it. That's all. It has to deal with mother's womb. Give me 1 second. Let me hold this a little differently. That's how we got here. And so the mooring takes place when the oogenesis. Then the oogenesis is the process in which ovum leaves ovary, travels fallopian tube, and then moors itself, moor meaning attaching itself to the endometrium, which lines mother's uterus, and that ovum or egg is awaiting defibrillation from the electrical spark provided by the substance called sperm. And if said ovum or egg is not defibrillated by the electrical spark from said quote unquote sperm, then there's a discarding process that happens in what's termed menstruation. That's just the science behind it. However, I'm
You
always
still
open
there,
for
bro?
correction
Okay,
if
yeah, you
people
there.
have actual means of disagreement. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah. You
can't
kind of
hear me?
like, yeah, I hear you now. You like broke up for a second, but you good. You good.
Okay. All right. So you already know, bro. Every time I kind of really get to just being straight up, things happen with that Wi-Fi, but it's all good. I'm not really tripping. So, as you can see, right? So you can't blame one, oh well, all Moors are like that because there were the mixed Moorish ones that caused this to happen. You know what I'm saying? The half breed generation of Moorish fathers, they were blah 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 blah. Well, that doesn't mean that it's everyone. It's like, oh, everybody who wears a yarmulke is responsible for, matzah crackers being made on the planet. You can't do that. What if I like matzah and I don't wear a yarmulke? Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So you can't just that's not civilized thinking. All right, bro. Go and do your thing.
Yeah, man, that's what is beautiful because we're not pointing fingers at anyone. It's everybody. Now you will have some who try to say, "Oh, it's them," and it's like it's everybody. So why not fix it? Y'all talking about coming together, but still want to point fingers. And here we are, like, hey, man, it's everybody. Let's just move forward and quit the fighting. I
Correct.
mean, is it any more hard and simple than that? But here we go.
Correct.
All right, so here we go. This is how we got here, right? Because people are like, oh, the history is so important to kind of see where it started, how it came, and where we are now. So from
Mm-hmm.
this, last 300 years, 1196 years of Moorish world rulership, results in the fall of the Moorish nations order of Islam, namely the science of the zodiac, and the rise of the Franciscan order of Rome and the North Gate, North America, to rule the world in the seven seas up to 1941 to 1948.
Which means it's over. You guys wonder why you got so many other beings who seem like they're your copper copper skin, olive tone shade of skin, so-called leaders and things of that nature. And then you wonder why is 7HealStar so consistent? Why is 7HealStar so consistent though? How come they haven't been kicked off of YouTube or censored for hate speech? Because we're in harmony with the zodiac. Period. And if this has been over since 1948, what have people been doing? Oh, I know. Stuck in the mass hypnosis that they're not supposed to go back to the mindset of their ancient foremothers and forefathers so that their days are long upon the earth land. However, I yield.
All right,
I
what's
have
been going
attempted.
on for the last 70 plus years since 1948? It's a question and some
Mm-hmm.
thoughts to have. All right. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I have attempted to convey to the reader that the Moorish nation violated the universal law of the zodiac,
Run that back.
which I have attempted. You make me want to do the battle rap again, but I have attempted to convey to the reader that the Moorish nation, right, Moors, right, not just saying ooh the special ooh, violated the universal law of the zodiac, which resulted to total corruption and their fall.
Yeah, I guess 7HealStar doesn't seem, because we're Moorish brothers. We don't seem so crazy to some of you out there that may think, these brothers, they ain't on it, man. They just sitting there believing something that Taj and them said and them other elders that's bruh, we're taking our minds back, taking our mindsets back to the mindset of our ancient foremothers and forefathers that our days may be long upon our earthland. We're grateful and thankful for those like Brother Taj, Mother Roz, and others, in these past couple of decades that have shared what they shared. However, to me, where I started going back to the mindset of our ancient foremothers and forefathers, I started with Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Okay, let me see what was he thinking, being someone manifested in the year 1886. What was he thinking? What was it like for him growing up? You see what I'm saying? Why was he
Mhm.
saying these things that he was saying? Why did he prepare the literature this way? And then that led me forward to CM Bay, and then even then, after looking at Prophet Noble Drew Ali and CM Bay, then we went back even further into the 1700s with Big Ben Bay, right? And that's all we keep doing, just keep going backwards, back and looking at the world history, and what we're realizing is, okay, I see what it is. The people that are complaining about the fairness on the planet needs to pick back up where they left off in their violation. That's why you like Brother Taj has said in some things. You can only get up from where you fell. So if you fell, being the Moorish nation in violation, then you need to get up from where you fell. So with that being said, I yield, bro. I just want to make sure people are seeing that. But yeah, start that again. I have attempted to convey.
All right, I have attempted to convey to the reader that, right, if we put in some hood terms, right, that the Moorish nation and they block violated the universal law of the zodiac, which resulted to total corruption and their fall, and the Franciscans came up on they block since they done got moved out and they inherited the Moorish nation block corruption, and then they ruled the world by it to the present. So both blocks,
Mm-hmm.
right, Moorish and Franciscan, are equally guilty for the violation of the universal law, the 12
And
signs of the zodiac.
that's the only way we're going to solve our problems. But for some reason, people still want to look at people wearing feather headdresses that aren't speaking about the zodiac, which means they're further still steeped in their corruption and their fall, thinking that they're rising. I'm Mother Rare Pigeon, and I hold the title to the vast estate. No, don't pay attention to that Moorish stuff that Prophet Noble Drew Ali was talking about. Just pay attention to the Empress Rare Pigeon. Okay, you can run and tell them I said it. Because I recognize people are ignoring their salvation because they don't want to pay attention to where they fucked up, which means these people don't want to rehabilitate. I don't know anybody that has come from a rehabilitation clinic they didn't have to admit. So this means that people are still in denial, and they're trying to cover their denial with titles like Empress and Chief, and call themselves discontinued automobiles. They stopped making Pontiacs in 2010. I got to cover my denial with headdress of feathers, and then make people be upset with anybody who speaks against the Empress Rare Pigeon. Okay. Why are you mad at me? Because I'm telling the truth. Oh, I get it. I get it. You don't want to look at the fact that you shat on the carpet in another lifetime. And you are your ancient foremothers and forefathers return, and you don't want to pick up where you left off and shitting on the carpet. You did some corrupt shit. And if you didn't, then maybe you're here to help fix it, but you're not here to help avoid it.
Because there's no way out.
At all. I can't wait till we get to that part. Go ahead, bro. I yield.
All right. Whale, 12 signs of the zodiac, the universal constitution is still here in the North Gate, the hub of the universe.
The hub of the universe. This is the center of it, where we are here at the North Gate. Period. Don't be scared of yourselves now. Go ahead, I yield.
You're like, Brother Sean, where you be at shit at the hub? What you mean the hub?
Flat
The
out.
hub of the universe? Feel me? Right? And so are the Moors and the Amazon Franciscans. They are referred to as, quote, Negroes, Indians, and whites, end quote, people in North America and no other place in the world.
Because that's a part of the corruption and fall. Fell and bumped your motherfucking head.
And stumped your toe.
Flat out. I yield, bro.
There has never been any people such as Negro, Indian, and white.
Ever.
There has never been any people such as Negro, Indian, and white.
And remember, this ain't no new book now. This ain't no new book. This is from between. Okay. I ain't gonna even say it. I'm just gonna zoom in on the date. So y'all gonna be like, oh, that's some new fangle. No. Most of y'all weren't even born yet. You did not manifest from your mother's Stargate. Not yet. But you can keep ignoring the past recorded if you want. You're going to repeat it then, and keep repeating it, and keep repeating it, and until you go. You know what? Let me go and holler at that zodiac. I done sat here and repeated, 4 or 5 lifetimes, and I think I'm tired of this. Let me just really get down to the zodiac stuff. I yield.
Mm-hmm. Such names are in reality a universal crime against humanity.
Sheesh.
They should make a new game, Crime Against Humanity, that card game. It should be just a couple cards with just this paragraph.
Sheesh.
Right? So such names, Negroes, Indian, whites, are in reality, not a belief, dogmatic fallacy, paradigm, whatever you want to call it. In reality, a universal crime against humanity, against yourself and the people.
Jesus Christ.
So let us resort to the zodiac and know ourselves and thus become as united American citizens for the first time in history.
Jesus, Bruce Lee Christ, bruh. Yo,
freedom is everybody's job.
Well, this is why, I know it's like the 5th time bruh. I don't know if people, yo, CM Bay brought pure, unadulterated truth, yo. There's no such thing as Indian, Negro, and white, which means there's no such thing as black, colored, African American, Native Americans. Those are all in reality a universal crime against humanity. Jesus Christ. That says United American citizens, not United States citizens, for those that will probably try to flip that and try to make an argument. Let me just say ahead of time before you go and have a temper tantrum of loud and wrongness. You're loud and wrong. Okay. Go ahead, bro. I yield.
1025 Moorish calendar or 1605 Franciscan calendar.
Right.
The evil
Okay.
act. Oh,
And that's where I can now go back to screen sharing.
Indeed. Yeah.
And I shall do so. All right.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah,
do
yeah,
that.
yeah, 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 yeah.
There we go.
Ooh, I know who watches this. So it's like, you know how you like accidentally run into somebody punch you real quick and you just you lose a breath. This is what I'm literally seeing for those who like strictly watch and like want to have a preconceived idea, and even though they think in their mind, they're gonna battle us and whatever in their own mind, that truth of that spirit's gonna come, whoop, gonna punch you right in your stomach. You're like,
Flat out.
you ain't gonna be able to breathe.
Flat out. You know what I mean? Mother Sahar says, use the axe to cut away, right? When we was referring to Tubal Cain, right? Islam. That's what we do. Get rid of those ungainly parts, right? Brother Derek Blash Bay says, hammer in the truth with exclamation points. Mother Sahar says, she's laughing, said, stop making Pontiacs. Yep, in 2010, right? Then Brother Derek Blash Bay says, chapter 5. And he's agreeing and says, indeed, with Mother Sahar. All right, bro, we yield. You had said 1025 Moorish calendar or 1605 Franciscan calendar, right? The Christian calendar, right? Go ahead, I yield.
Right? The evil act of both blocks, right? Both nations, the Moors and the Amazon Franciscans of South America.
So that's where they're from. They're not Europeans. They're Amazonian pale skins, sometimes called Amazonian redskins because they're in their paleness, they look red. They're from South America, never Europe, ever. Because the experiments to graft, to get the result of the pale skin took place in South America or on the continent known as South America. Period. Get over yourselves. I yield.
Right. That's some offensive truth for your cognitive defensive, for your cognitive defensive beliefs. Right.
Yeah, basically.
Right.
Cognitive dissonant beliefs too. Go ahead, bro. Yeah.
So, contrary to the zodiac, automatically converted the entire world, the minds of humanity, and that which is living hell for past 400 years.
So both the copper toned and pale skinned beings have suffered because of their equally evil acts. Back to me saying again, it's been a family feud. Period. We got to get over ourselves, and we can't do it through belief systems. Geometry doesn't lie, which means ultimately the science pertaining to the zodiac doesn't lie, because that's based on the universal law as shown in the 12 signs of the zodiac and the ruling planets pertaining to those signs. Looky, Astro Cookie. I yield, bro. The fathers
of civilization offsprings. 1. The dark-skinned, kinky-haired, thick-lipped Moabite nation are the fathers of civilization, North, Central, and South America. 2. The dark-skinned, kinky-haired Moorish nation are the direct descendants of the Moabite nation.
Oh, look at that. Hey, now we're getting it, aren't we? Now we're seeing the steps. Okay, go ahead, continue.
All right. The term Moor means navigator of the seven seas, guided by the North Gate's pole star. The Moorish nation, prior to the Revolution and the Union of 1863 in North America, is referred to as Spanish.
Period. So all this, oh well, you know, because they Spanish, they speak Spanish. That's why I say, oh, Moros or Moorish Latin people. So that can assist in fixing the minds of humanity. Go ahead, bro. I yield, man. Continue,
3.
man. I yield.
The ruddy or red-skinned white, quote-unquote, Amazon Franciscan nations are the experimentation descendants of the Moorish nation.
Are the what kind of descendants?
Experimentation descendants.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. You said experiment gumtation. What'd you say? You tasting experiment gum. What'd you say?
Oh yeah, they just experimentation descendants. That's all.
Okay. Oh, because I just wanted to make sure Brother Hasan wasn't making up the fact that it was an experiment done in South America to grasp the result that it's called the pale skins, falsely called Europeans. They're modern Europeans, maybe, but they're our ruddy or red skin, quote unquote white. Because some people just still need to hear that for their attention grabbing purposes. But our pale skinned sons and daughters are the experimentation descendants of the Moorish nation. So who comes from the Moabites? Who comes from the Moabite nation? The Moorish nation. Who comes from the Moorish nation? The pale skins. Are you seeing the Family Feud yet? I want to know if we're seeing it. I yield, bro. It's fine.
E pluribus unum is Latin, meaning one out of many races, caste, color, and subnations. The Great Seal on a U.S. $1 bill is that of the Moorish nation.
Jesus, firstly Christ.
It is contrary for a victorious nation to put on its currency the head of the defeated nation. Well, the head with the feathers on a U.S. early penny referred to as a crime against humanity or Indian is that of the white, quote unquote, Amazon woman.
Oh my goodness. And you got somebody want to be an Empress rare aviation animal and talk about, oh, I'm going to have on this headdress. So who are you with? Oh, you're with the pale skinned woman. Oh no, but Brother Hasan, how are you going to speak against the elder? Oh, well, we should knock that fez off of your head talking about the elder that does what? Not comprehend history? Or better said, not comprehend the past recorded, because they probably walked right past CM-based literature to just go and get a land grant to the entire planet that they think they have, but they don't, being called the holder in due course of all the land. How are you a holder? Are you using Admiralty language? And people are going to flock to this rare bird? This boy. But I'm the bad guy because I keep pointing out the obvious. Huh? I'm the bad guy? Okay. All right, I yield, bro. I'm just saying, I didn't manifest till 1984. This, I showed you the cover, said 1952. This rare pigeon lady was probably a baby if she wasn't even a busted nut in a mama yet. And she holds title to what? Are you guys serious? All right, I'm the bad guy though. I'm pointing things out that are obvious, that I'm pretty sure most people are just trying to look past. But now you guys have this new leader woman who is representing the pale skin, Amazonian ruddy red skin woman. Are you kidding me? That's your connection? When you can't see the fact that this is universal, actually, we've always been family. So what's all this still separatist acting that's taking place? How can we not honor Big Ben Bey, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and CM Bey? How? How can we not? Go ahead. I yield, bro. I yield, man. I yield.
And the head with the feather on the buffalo nickel is that of a white, quote unquote, Amazon man.
Jesus Christ.
The Redskins.
Mm-hmm.
The feather and the eagle symbolize the height of their rulership and mystic royal crown at the top of the world, North Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, man. So the feather and the eagle that they rocking, they showing that they
Mm-hmm.
are in harmony with symbolizing the height of the white quote unquote Amazon's rulership and mystic royal crown of our ancient land, rather than actually being our Moorish Moabite nation side. Am I thinking, am I thinking to save myself correctly with those concepts that they're repping the other side,
And I'm
even
not
though
really knocking
it's
it because
all
we
one
do see
side?
that we're all one. We're seeing from the
That's what I was
Moabite
saying. We
nation,
all
that's the
want.
Moorish nation. From the Moorish nation came our Amazonian pale skins. However, what I'm saying is how we have people that look like us that are claiming a portion that I don't really think that's them.
Right.
Unless you're someone like your mother was the product of a Moorish son and a pale skinned woman, and your father actually dealt with her, which still would technically, since nationality is based on the mother, you would still technically be a modern European too. You would be of the so called half breed Moorish being. But your mother is the product of your grandparents, which is a Moorish son and a pale skinned woman, which then would make your mother, even though she has a Moorish father, technically, since nationality is determined by the mother, not the father, then she's a modern pale skin turned modern European. But she has a copper tone complexion. You know how many people out here got copper tone complexions, but you go back a generation or two, you're gonna find a pale skin immediately in the line of either mother and father or grandfather and grandmother somewhere. Are you guys clear on that? But when we don't know the record pertaining to the past, we'll begin taking on things and saying things as if it's the only thing. My position being Moorish American, when have I not said it's actually we're all actually one? When have you ever heard me not say that? There's not too many Moors that want to actually admit that because they've never really done this kind of study. And if you ever hear many people say it after 7HealStar saying it, 9 times out of 10, one, they didn't read it, or two, they had to wait for us to present it so that they could then regurgitate it if they still didn't read it. But if
Right.
they
And
heard
then
us say it and
even
then went and did their own studies, then it became their own, and they're like, "Dad, go, well, this is what it is," because now I put it together. Mother Sahar says clear. Go ahead, bro. What you about to say?
And I was just gonna say, like, I think it might have been book one when, Bay was like, don't resort to hatred against them, right? And it's
Correct.
very clear that people are fighting and hating each other over skin tone, status, dogmatic beliefs, the term religion, all this fighting, and it shows you that the feud has still continued to go on. And said, don't resort to hatred. So, yeah, we're joking, but we're serious when we say, if you have hate in your heart, let it out because there is deep rooted hate, fear, and ignorance. And, we've already covered it and explained it of what it's got to come to in order for things to move forward. But people are scared, right? The modern Europeans, or, it's the sons and daughters are scared about us finding out. And then our people are scared of them. So it's like, what it comes to is the truth of quote unquote history and just the zodiac. I mean, and
Mhm.
that's teaching people about themselves, people having baptisms of the mind and healing of this hate that they have been holding over generations, thousands of years, against themselves and against others.
Mhm. The great
So
seal
it
on the
is.
U.S. $1 bill, as CMB is saying it, is that of the Moorish nation. So that's the Moorish nation seal. However, it is contrary for a victorious nation to put on its currency the head of the defeated nation. So on the bond paper called the dollar bill. You have the Moor seal. However, on the coin, you have a pale-skinned daughter and a pale-skinned son. Pale-skinned daughter on the penny, pale-skinned son on the nickel. As far as the Buffalo nickel and, you know, the early U.S. penny. And CMB even told you, as we read, the Indian is a crime. Calling someone Indian, Negro, white is a crime of humanity. That's why he keeps putting quotes around these things. CMB probably got to certain points where he was like, dang, man, I forgot to put a quote on that, but fuck it, they know what I mean. Like, that's how I look, because Indian should have a quote around it all the time. White should have a quote around it all the time. Negro should have a quote around it all the time. Because those are plausible terminologies as a means to help an ignorant people get back to where they fell from, so that they can progress instead of continuing to fall into an abyss of uncivilization. Brother Derek Blash Bay says, yes, clearly. All right, I yield, bro.
Mm-hmm. The term Franciscan means freeman or Frenchman, or freedom and liberty. Franchise, which automatically made North, Central, and South America, contrary from across the water, the first France, and the people's Frenchmen's, and spread abroad.
Now you got to think about a couple of things, like, right, how they called the Haudenosaunee. Some people say Iroquois or Iroquois, which is what the French called the Haudenosaunee. The French called the Haudenosaunee Iroquois, or what people call Iroquois. And then think about it when Dwight D. Eisenhower relinquished the jurisdiction of the United States here in Morocco in 1955, 1956. And now you got the Kingdom of Morocco, which is a French protectorate in Northwest Alkebulan. Northwest Alkebulan is falsely called Africa. I hope you guys are making connections. Ayo, bro. Islam.
All right. The terms German and Jew were derived from juryman or juryman, based upon the 12 signs of the zodiac.
Which is kind of what we went over to when we read the Zodiac Constitution. But continue. Let's just continue telling the truth. Go ahead, bro.
Each sign of the zodiac is considered a jury. Right? You think about the 12 foundations. Now you're thinking about the 12 jury. But, you know, you can just keep being hypnotized by these commercial terms and beings to get you thinking that astrology is fake and ain't real and don't help nothing. You know? The 12 signs of the zodiac is squared by 9. 9 goes into probably 360 degrees 40 times. Right? Yep. Thus, the number 9 represents the 9 judges of the Supreme Court, the federal government, Masonry, or Islam. I am the widowed son of 9, the first law.
I am that I am.
That's it. That's all.
This isn't hard. And you didn't have to get butt fucked into some brotherhood lodge, butt buddy lodge of things, and then have your tassel pinned down at 33 degrees.
Mic drop.
Questions, comments? Yeah, I know, right? Questions, comments, and/or suggestions. Going once. Questions, comments, and/or suggestions going once. As you see, when we come back next Friday, we'll be going over Star Spangled Banner, the national anthem of the Union States of North America, 1863. We'll be going over that, right? We'll be continuing to tell the truth. while there are things going on that people are doing absent pertaining to this, right? Mother Sahar says, sincere gratitude. Indeed, beloved mother, sincere gratitude indeed. Questions, comments, and or suggestions going Twizeyes. So where I'm Brother Sean says, schedule your mirror AstroLiteracy session with I, Brother Hasan Ghazi Obey. Get your mental magician report from Brother Sean Aline L. You can join TUPAC still. We're letting it run for a bit to get more people to come and join for a lifetime, the Universally Professional Astrology Community. For a lifetime membership for one, it's $250. However, we're allowing that to be buddy passed, right? In a good way, not again that large membership butt buddy stuff. We don't promote that bullshit. What we're saying respectfully, in a true Masonic sense, when you're speaking about the Zodiac and not some BS large membership. Again, I'm not speaking negatively about it as much as I'm saying how irrelevant it actually is. It is only a means to continue to foster uncivilized behavior and continue to further commit crimes against humanity. When this knowledge that we're sharing here is absent in the minds of those that are participating within that. The truth is stern and don't change nor pass away, and it needs no apology. Going to give this another listen. Indeed. JLV and Robert, indeed. So TUPAC you can join, and the $250 can be split to $125 a piece. That's only if you bring someone. All righty. You guys got to come at the same time at least to join, to have your first experience with TUPAC together. All righty. Because you have to get your astrology charts from us and other things. All righty. So with that being said, we're still running that, and we'll just let you guys know until further notice when we'll go back. Like, well, it's back to $250. Just each sentient being is $250 a piece now instead of us.
Nope, 5,000 now. Since y'all saying why we ain't rich, because we ain't overcharging y'all. So yeah, 5,000 so we can fulfill y'all should be rich.
And even then, military script is not a means to actually be rich, honestly.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, however, with that being said, make sure you guys donate.
We already plain rich. You know what I'm saying? We already plain rich. So.
Indeed. When you donate, there are 2 Cash Apps that are normally in the description of our videos. All righty. You will see the Cash App for you just donating for us, freely sharing our energy here on our YouTube channel every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then on top of that, we continue to freely share our energy every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at Lawful Living. So to schedule astrology with us or concept correction with us, yes, we're going to have you guys compensate us for our energy. When you schedule sessions with us. However, for what it is that we do freely, we would say donate, because we know that we're giving our concepts in mind in a time and space where people are not seeing things as we're saying it and sharing it. So we trust that allows you to, show your appreciation by making sure we have at least, the food and hygienic things. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we're saying, make sure we have a house over, a roof over our head and a land conveyance, and 26-inch, rims. And we're not asking for that. Even though I am looking forward to a Moorish community where that exists, and it's not just, a space for I and Brother Sean to, stay in our own, individual structures, but to have on the land a Moorish community like you have many other types of communities. Like you have your Jewish communities, as they call them, right? Your Ashkenazi communities, you know, which usually the center of that community, like with the principles pertaining to the Hadonosani that had the longhouse, and then everybody that's a part of the Hadonosani each had their individual, houses or whatever it was, their structures for them and their loved ones each, right? So have some central building where we, like for example, having a temple to learn and do things without the idol god worship happening in that temple, without the dogma belief system stuff happening in that temple, right? Whatever you want to call that central large building with our independent shelters surrounding that. That's what I trust that I get to see in my lifetime. Questions, comments, and or suggestions going through eyes. So where I am Brother Sean gonna say be yourselves and
donate.
Make sure you guys donate. What'd you say, bro?
I said show some love.
For real. And like I said, we will soon have in this description for this video, both the Cash App so you guys can see it. You can send, your donations to each one. Or if you just wanted to send to one of them, then just leave a note. Hey, share with your brother or split this with your brother. Whether you send it to Brother Sean's Cash App or mine, it will get to either one of us depending on who you send to. All righty, based on your note in that particular transaction via Cash App. You're like, oh, I don't have Cash App, I have Zelle, and just reach out to me. We'll give you that. Google Pay, or if you're like, yo, I got Apple Pay, can I just text it to you? What's your iMessage number? Okay, boom, there you go. But we don't fuck around, so don't be playing on nobody's phone either. You know what I'm saying? I don't want my beloved mother, Mistress Consort, to have to find you, hunt you down, and kick you in your teeth. But she'll do it anyway. I should have laughed after that, but I know my consort. So with that being said, no more questions, comments, and or suggestions. We're going to do our invocation out. I'm going to lead us out on our invocation out. We're going to extend all 5 appendages on the left hand, just the index and middle on the right. We're going to stand on a 45-degree angle as we're facing east, which denotes within. So you guys can repeat after me either aloud or in your hearts.
Islam.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Peace.
Freedom.
And
justice. Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
My salvation.
And my salvation.
By night. And by day. Through his holy prophet. Noble Drew Ali. Ameen. Guys, thank you all so much. When you go to get, your victuals, make sure you go and enjoy yourself. Speak over it and make sure that it does your body good. Speak your affirmations over it. All righty. With that being said, right? When you go to rest and recharge later on, make sure you rest and recharge well. And anyone seeing this, they didn't see it live or they want to catch the replay because they think I spoke about their Empress Rare Pigeon. That's fine. Go and see it. Say whatever you want to say. I have a phone number, 443-376-8764. We can even link up via Zoom if you want to express yourself, how you feel about whatever it is that you want to feel, how you feel. It's fine. We can speak about it. Just know that we have a lot in our library to be able to back up everything that it is that we say. All right. So with that being said, on behalf of 7HealStar, I'm Brother Hasan Ghazi Bey. This is Brother Sean Amin L. right there. On behalf of the Exalted Cyclops, Brother Corey Bey, that's Saul's brother Terrell Tamari Bey, and On behalf of Brother R. Bay, we say we love you all. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, 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 y'all. Peace and love.